Hi, everyone. Welcome to another VanHack podcast. I'm Ilya, and I'm super excited to be joined by Ahmed Okasha, who is the Director of Technology at Kudos in Calgary. Hi, Ahmed. How's it going?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for taking some time to join us and share your story about how you hired two senior developers from VanHack from around the world. And I'm excited to hear all about it. So maybe before we kind of get into those details, can you maybe introduce yourself, tell us about yourself, your background, and also about Kudos?
Sounds good. My name is Ahmed, and I started 4 years ago with Kudos, which is essentially building an employee recognition and engagement platform. Um, we are based in Calgary, Alberta, in Canada, and we have been expanding in terms of developing new features, going to new markets, and um, the like looking for talent is challenging, not only in Calgary but worldwide. And it's one of the reasons we thought of going to with VanHack to help us with this challenge. So
Very cool, very cool. And how many people on the team right now? Just for people to get a size, scale of your, so an idea of your size and kind of where you're at.
yeah, we have eight members in just my team, the engineering team, and the whole company are about 25 at this point.
Very cool. That's great. Awesome. So, what kind of skills were you looking for? Like, how long were the jobs open? Maybe tell us a little bit about the role. So you hired two senior Ruby on Rails developers. And what was the process maybe before VanHack of trying to find those skills in Calgary or in Canada in general?
Yeah, so the technology stack we're using, like we try to be on kind of the cutting edge as much as we can, to use technology that's scalable, that's also like can be used by multiple um, customers in multiple countries because we have a global presence. So it's very important for us to have a scalable solution that's very user friendly and so on. And this was one of the challenges because we're using technologies that are not necessarily available from a skills perspective in the Calgary market, which is primarily dominated by oil and gas corporations
Mhm.
that tend to use, not the most cutting edge technologies. We were looking to hire two senior developers that have Ruby on Rails or Node.js experience, and yeah, we were lucky to find two candidates. Like we were presented with multiple candidates, and um, the interview process was for us was seamless, even though it was remote. But the team at VanHack was really helpful in that process.
Very cool. Very cool. So, can you maybe give us an idea of how quickly that happened? So, how long after you started working with VanHack were you presented candidates, and then how quickly were you able to make offers and get hires?
Yeah, as far as I remember, it was a matter of weeks, and because we were also going really fast when we wanted to hire in order to like satisfy the resource requirements we have. But the first hire we did was in July 2018, and then the second one was in August. Most of the time actually was spent in the visa process. So everything else, like the interview, I would say it took about a week or two. It wasn't that long, and the candidates were really flexible in accommodating the times for the interviews, and we did at least two interviews for each of them, including a technical interview as well. So I would say the interview process was uh, went really fast for us.
Great, awesome. And how did you feel in terms of like candidate engagement? Sometimes when you're hiring people in general, you can kind of get a lot of people, candidates might be curious or shopping around or looking to get a better offer at their current company. But how was it with the candidates that were presented for your from VanHack?
Yeah, I would say there's like I noticed there's the screening done on VanHack side, so they already went through the candidates and like verified, for example, the language requirements and so on. So that saves a lot of time in terms of hiring someone, especially externally from a different uh, country or different culture. So that definitely saved us a lot of time. And um, I believe there is also a technical test done in VanHack as well,
Mhm.
which was also really helpful. So that gave us an idea, even before going into the starting our own process, that these are the checks that were done, and was very comforting for us.
Very cool. Awesome. And then you touched on it briefly, but the visa process. So how was that? How long did it take? Were they able to kind of maybe work remotely and onboard that way? What were your experience with the relocation in general?
Yeah, so I would say it depends on which country. Like this is extremely variable. Some places or countries have faster visa processes than others. So I would say, as an advice, maybe accommodate for a month, maybe up to 2 months, for the visa to be, processed and completed. And also candidates, if they're already working, they need to give a notice period for their organization, and that's also variable from one country to the other. Sometimes it's 2 weeks, sometimes it's three or more. So that's the one part of the process that like customers will need to be flexible and just um, anticipate some delay due to the visa process.
Definitely. Yeah. And makes sense, and it's definitely something we want to help companies through and work through all that to make sure it goes smoothly. And then now it's been actually coming up to I guess a year now, right? That the candidates have been working with you. How have they been performing? What's the actual results of their efforts, and how are they doing?
Yeah, honestly, it's been just amazing working with them from a technical perspective. They're really exceeding kind of the expectations we had. A lot of fresh ideas and creative ideas and that they brought from their previous experience, adding so much to the organization. Also diversity in terms of the background adds to the not just the engineering team but everyone in the company, and just getting to learn and know about other cultures is amazing. The so I would say from the value added, it's definitely worth it, and it adds so much diversity to the team, to the company as a whole.
Very cool. Yeah, I was going to touch on the diversity part because I know that that's something that is important to have a balanced team in terms of cultural background, gender, age, all the different types of diversity you can find, and something that we like to see, as something we bring to the table with the VanHackers candidates bring to the table. Cool. Well, maybe just the last question is any tips you have for other companies that are maybe considering international hiring in general, not necessarily through VanHack, but just looking for talent. What would you say they should look out for? You did mention a few, but maybe if there's something else that comes to mind now.
Yeah, I would say the most important one for us was just keeping an open communication channel with the candidates during the period of relocation. So as soon as they started the visa process, we started creating like we use Slack for our communication. So we created a Slack channel with the candidates so that they can ask any questions they have, like what type of things they need to bring, and where they would stay, and like what we would advise them on certain things to make the onboarding process or the relocation process as easy as possible. So that was super helpful for both us and the candidates, and also keeping a clear onboarding process for them when they come. So what kind of things they need to learn about, and places they would visit. We on that front, we actually had a buddy program where each new candidate would be kind of paired with another employee from the company, not necessarily engineering, but they would essentially walk them through, you know, how to live in the city, what are the things they need to see, the
Mhm.
attractions, and like kind of the tips and best practices when they come in. So that really helped them get integrated more quickly into um, like the city as a society and the company as well. So,
Very cool. Very cool. No, that's a great idea, and thank you so much for sharing that. Awesome, Mohammed. I really appreciate your time, and congrats on again on adding two great team members. I know Talal and Lais are very nice people that I like. I think from the cultural point of view, just me personally having interacted with them, you got a couple of gems, and yeah, hopeful all the best for Kudos as you keep scaling the team and growing the company.
thanks, Elia, and thanks to your team. And we're looking forward to work with you in the future as well.
Perfect. Awesome. So if you're an employer looking for great tech talent, just sign up to at vanhack.com, click on I want to hire, and see all the great developers waiting for you. Look forward to talking to you. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave a question here on the YouTube comment section. Cool. Thanks so much, everyone, and we'll see you next time.